Okay, I'm going to show you some basics. Step one is just go to classroom.google.com and create a classroom. You do that by the top right hand corner. It has like a plus symbol, and you want to make sure you pick teacher regardless if you're an actual teacher or not. It doesn't matter. Just pick the that. That's only the first time you access it. Everything else is, once you're in there, you won't have to do that. So you can see I'm looking at a sample class. I'm just going to give you a quick overview. I don't have any students in this class. This is my stream. This is where I can put information. I can also, go to classwork, and we'll go there in a minute. That's another category where you can do things. People, there are two ways in which you can add students. One is you can give them this code, maybe write it on the board, but in this situation, it's best to just add students by typing their name. So if you are creating a Google Classroom, you will have to do it on the same side as the students. So that's the at K-12 side. You should know what that means. So if you need to add a co-teacher or add any other educator, you would just click up here and then you would start typing. Okay, and then pick the person. All right, we're not going to worry about grades in today's activity. All right, so on going to the stream again, you can change the theme if you want. So let's say I teach science and it looks like a social studies situation. I can click on theme, and I can pick, what did I say, science. I don't really see anything. Let's go to math and science. There we go. Let's go with that one. Okay, so I picked that, and so now you can see I'm on the front page, so I can make an announcement such as, hey everyone, reminder, your lab packet with with signatures is due tomorrow. Okay. You can, I don't have any students, but if you had a whole list of students here, you could pick who you wanted that to go with to. I just picked everyone, so that's a great way to do it. You can also say, I want this to go to other classes. So maybe you have different sections of the same class. So you can say, I want it to go to my science period 1, period 5, and period 7. It's the same grade level or grade band. Okay. And then you can, of course, you have a couple options down here. And the good thing is all this is pretty much true on most of the things that you can do, or if not all, in Google Classroom. So you can add a document. So if I want them to have something, I can click. Let me do that a little slower. Click here. You can go to Google Drive. You can add a link, a file, something from YouTube. So let's say I want to do a lab safety video. Now make sure that you watch the video before you post it. And this could be a video that you made or someone else. Science lab safety. Let's go that way. All right, so I can maybe even say general lab safety. Add that. Okay, and then I could say also watch the 5-minute lab safety video for tomorrow. Okay. So you can add as many things as you want. You can add a link if you have a link to a website. You can also go over here to post and post it immediately, or you could say, I would like to schedule that to post. Let's see. Let's say I wanted to post on the 15th of March, the Ides of March at 8 a.m. I could click schedule. And now you can see it didn't go yet. It's just kind of one saved announcement, which is the one we just did, and it's going to post tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So you can schedule things, which is really nice. You can only schedule one thing at a time, which I know that's not awesome, but that's just a limitation right now. For classwork, there's a whole bunch of things you can do. You can hit the plus button. You can do an assignment, and I'm not going to go through all these because you can Google them. You can YouTube it if you have more questions. We're going to do assignment in a minute. You can do a Kami assignment, which is PDF centric. I'm not going to get into that today. You can do a quiz. You can do a question. You can add material. You can reuse a post. I will say this one's pretty nice because any of your other Google Classrooms that you have now, or old ones or archived ones, you can almost kind of like a used car, like pull something off of it or reuse it so you don't have to set it all up. All right. I am going to do an assignment. So there's a couple key things I want to point out. So, all right, again, let's say this is a science class. I want to give it a title, Getting Ready for Our First Lab. I could give any directions here that I wanted to. Of course, just for time's sake, I'm just going to type random things just to give you an idea. All right, next I want to decide again. There's a limitation though, and I know several people have had this question. It's best to do, if you're going to schedule something, you have to do it one at a time. And I'm going to show you why. Watch right now. I only have one class. If I go up to a sign and I want to schedule it, it's going to let me. But as soon as I pick multiple classes, now, why? I'm not sure. You just go and now scheduled is grayed out and you can't do it. And unfortunately, again, you can only schedule one thing at a time, which is not awesome, but it is a limitation. I can, if I had a list of students, again, I can decide who it goes to, all students, or I could pick individual students or groups. Points in the future, that's going to be more important. You could also mark it ungraded. You could pick a due date. That's a scheduled date up here, but you could also pick a due date. So I could say it's due tomorrow. I could give it a time, 11:59. Again, I could go and schedule this to automatically be assigned when I tell it to. I could give it a topic, which is basically kind of like tagging it. So I could say science lab assignment. Later on, they would have a list and they could easily find this assignment. Not a bad idea. You can add rubrics. You can also have originality reports. This is a newer thing. And you can see that if you click Learn More, they will give you more details on this. And I'm not sure why it's not loading quickly. All right, I'm going to skip that. Okay, so a lot of people make a mistake right now and they just hit assign. The problem is you haven't assigned anything. You've given directions, you've given it a title, you've set up some of this info. What you really want to do is click, you want to add something. So if I click add, and let's say I want to add a Google Doc or a Google Slide or really any Google asset, anything in your Drive, which those are my two favorite if you saw their videos. Kind of getting slow internet here. I'm not sure why. There we go. Oh, okay. I'm back. So as soon as this populates, I could add, for example, this math lesson. And you have recent, you have upload, you have my drive shared. I'm going to add recent, and I'm going to click on that doc. So here's a key thing. Another important fact to get out to you, or point, is you mostly want this on the third one. There are three options on the drop-down arrow. Students can view file, students can edit file, and make a copy for each student. You pretty much want to do make a copy for each student, only because that way each student will be able to kind of utilize his or her own. Honestly, it really depends. If you have a study guide and you just want kids to be able to look at it, consume it, take it in, but not make comments and not do anything else, then you could say can view the file. So the next one is if for some reason you want students all on the same one, which generally isn't great, but it depends what you're doing, you could pick can edit the file, and finally, what I like about this one, if you want every kid to kind of have his or her own separate one, it'll put their name on the right in the title, which is really great, but it also has a turn-in button that'll show up when you have this feature turned on. So when they're done editing it and making comments, that they can just click turn in, and then it's turned in directly to you through Classroom, and you'll see how easy it is to manage. All right, I'm going to show you an example of that here in a minute. All right, so that's kind of the assignment piece. And again, even though this is a quick video, there are tons of Google Classroom videos on YouTube, so if you want to dig in deeper, you can. I'm going to go to, let's see. I am going to, let me go to a Google search. All right, so this is something that we're doing at school, and you can see for classwork, if I pick on or click one of the assignments, so let's go to Educator 1, Unit 1. This was an assignment, and I did want to point this out. You can see right now on this one, 0 turned in, 4 assigned, and 11 returned. So what that means is 11 people completed this assignment, 4 people never did, and right now there's basically nothing in queue or in waiting to be looked at. So I'll click on the returned ones. All right, so these are the returned ones. And what's nice is if I want to email these people, it makes it easy. I can see who's missing it, who's not. I can shoot them a quick email just to make it easy. So again, once you get into that, you're going to find how easy it is to manage things that are turned in, and there's a lot of features. So I think you'll like that. It's pretty intuitive. So that's basically the overview of Google Classroom. If you have any questions, please let me know. But think of Google Classroom as a shelf from which you put your assignments and classes, and it's a place to give things and to get them back. And it's really efficient, and everyone that uses Google Classroom is quite happy. So, okay, all right. Good luck with Google Classroom.